This is our return from Fan Expo show.
Yep.
So while previous, for people that don't know, Fan Expo used to be Wizard World, which people would get confused with Harry Potter related stuff or like some kind of magic convention.
Yeah, some wizard cosplay.
So, previous years we had separate or a lot of random like first time things. Like that was the first show we did that we found out another vendor died. I think that might have been 2018 or 19, where we had heard the dude was walking back after setup back to the hotel and collapsed.
Right.
I think that was the show that someone told us that they inherited one of our pieces that their friend had bought. And then I feel like there's a few other things that maybe coffee will bring to mind.
Always helps.
So, what were your, right off the cuff, what were your 3 best things that come to mind from this past weekend?
I think everything was like super positive. Like everyone coming back to having a con like this in town really seemed to be like a really positive thing for the area. Like everyone was instantly like, "Yo, we got to come to this every year," which is amazing. It was a real family-oriented feel, which seems to bring more people out. And as the days went, it seemed like there was still about the same amount of people. Like it wasn't like one day was weaker than the other, which is awesome. A lot of people didn't even know it was coming into town. Us being able to have a booth up front really helped us out, and like it was easy to find for people because we were kind of that vendor's market. So it kind of kept people around. They were in the mode to like purchase stuff, find something different, and like seeing everyone's smiles because we pretty much cover bases on everything that we do.
Right.
Like you could go to a lot of booths, and if you're not into something, okay, well that's out of the question. That's out of the question. But once they came to our booth, whether it was a child all the way up to an adult, or whatever their likes were, we usually had something that
Something for everyone.
Yeah, something for everyone, and there's a lot of overlap. So families would come over cosplayed as something, and we would usually have something for them, so like get them pumped. And just like smiles all weekend. I really didn't even see any like kind of negative people, which at cons or conventions sometimes you run into that a lot. Or I really didn't take too much of that in the whole 3 days. So.
With watching the VR walkthrough, there was this guy that at the end, I remember he was an author. So I think he did books, not even comic books. And when I walked through at the end, checking up on, I think after buying stuff from Chad, checking up on the acrylic print people, I saw this guy, and I've never seen someone so pissed looking and with his arms crossed so tight. It was as if he was freezing alive. And on the VR walkthrough, you see him sitting like that, and this was like VIP of the second of the real day.
Oh wow!
Like the VR walkthrough was like 9:55 to 10:05, and it's funny seeing him looking already defeated, like right off the rip. Like he didn't have must have been his first time doing an event like that.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe he had like instant buyer's remorse or something. I don't know. Like the way the setup, I thought the setup was great. So like as you went through, it pushed you back towards the photos and things that some people only go there for.
Right.
But like you have to walk through the whole con to get out. Like so you usually have to take everything in on the way back anyway. So like I don't know, maybe he didn't get to meet his person, or
maybe got there late and was frazzled. But I mean, seeing, knowing what I saw at the end, where I was like, oh, it must have been a bad weekend for him, which it happens to everyone from time to time.
Yeah.
But yeah, lesson to everyone: be friendly, and if you're having a bad time, at least act like you're having a good time, because the people walking through will just avoid you.
Yep.
Because they're trying to have a good time.
Yeah, I mean, you're paying there to have the experience. So like, if you walk by and somebody's looking mopey, I might give them a head nod or something. But like, me personally, I'm like, well, even if I like the stuff, I may look at the stuff. But if they don't engage me, I'm like, oh, I mean, well, that's cool stuff. But like, if you don't care enough to try and either engage me or sell your piece or whatever, then I'm just gonna go on to somebody else. Yeah, who like takes care in what they're doing. And not everyone's gonna be outgoing. I understand that, but like, if you go to a convention place like that where you're gonna have floods of people, you're selling your product too, like, and you are your product. So like, if you have a negative feeling, they're probably just gonna be like, oh, I mean, it was that guy who had that cool art, but like, he didn't talk to us. So
right,
we just went to the people who like really engaged us, or who were smiling, or like, hey, come on in, whatever, were like more inviting. So.
Which we always talk about, the people who you say hi to and they practically run away because they think you're gonna use car salesman them into buying something they don't want. But that's always something that we always tell folks is, just say hey to everyone walking by. And if they don't say hi back, it's not something to take personal.
Yeah.
It might get annoying after a weekend where you're like, okay, whatever, I just said hey to you, but
some people have their bubbles.
Right.
Some people bubbles are smaller. Some people bubbles are 15 feet, and that's where they like to keep you. It's the same thing with like we said. When you're in a shopping, part of your job is to engage the customer, but like constant badgering and not letting them shop.
Right.
If people are going to shop, they're going to shop. Like, that's the one thing. Like, if they have a question, they'll probably let you know. Like, hey, do you have this?
Right.
So like, over the weekend, if somebody was kind of hanging out there, just be like, oh, hey, you're looking for something specific, and then I could let you know whether we have it or not. It may save you both time, and then you might be like, oh, cool, then I definitely want to keep looking at stuff. So
you get a read on people from their body language, or just the way they're looking at the art.
Right.
I've noticed.
I mean, you're not like ruining anyone's childhood or anything, so.
Right.
That's the story.
So speaking of that, we should whip out the records.
Okay. So what we've been talking is, this is what we do. We've been doing this kind of stuff for almost 16 years now this summer. So what we do is we get these vinyl records. They're all donated. We save them from the landfill. Usually at least one, or if not both sides, are scratched to where they're useless. Then we paint on them. So we make them into an affordable canvas. Just fits nicely somewhere in your house. Doesn't take up much space. But it's our way of doing something green. So we do a different kind of pop culture, local stuff. We may do something specially for an event. Anime, cartoon stuff is really popular. Video games. So.
And then here in Cleveland, anything with Cleveland on it.
Yeah, you do any sports teams, you can do anything that just says Cleveland, 10, 20 different fonts. Usually they're all gone. So, but yeah, just nice and lightweight. Helps us reach both children all the way up to adults, because the adults see the nostalgia of having a record player, or crate digging if you were a DJ, things like that. And then the kids get to see something that's just graphic, something they care about, and they get to hang it on their wall.
And like we were saying, universally appealing. And then us doing the fan art like this lets us do our original art with the figures and any other medium we move about with. But yeah, we also do some canvas stuff. This is some of our canvas fan art.
Yeah, so we've got the Ninja Turtles are always a classic hit. I do a lot of anime. We like bright poppy colors. A lot of stuff's black light reactive. And then, like My Hero is just a really hot thing. Like these were two of the two top cosplays from the last weekend, these two characters. So I like to kind of keep them in rotation. We always change up colors too. So like at a different event later on, maybe the same stencil, but it'll be different colors. So we don't sit there and just step and repeat, step and repeat. We like to still try to be creative in what we do.
And so, as a random extra thing, I have a surprise for Serge that will catch him off guard.
Oh no. I mean, oh yay.
So I forgot I bought this. And I forgot these existed. But so we're going to do it on the spot, like review and showcase.
Nice. Nice. Yo.
Coming out of 2014.
Whoa.
I wish I would have bought like 8 of them to paint over some of them.
Hopping Ghost, Osaka Popstar. Hear the bells, they come toll, see the claws, they want to dig at you, feel these fangs, then hop like a ghost. Yo, this is wild.
And the box art is crazy.
Yeah,
like I'm gonna
it's amazing.
frame probably all of it. That's another thing I like to do is I like to take the box art, cut it up and frame it, and then now you have wall art for something that would otherwise just sit in a bin somewhere or get pitched.
Includes free MP3 download of the single Hopping Ghost. Yeah, that's some good synergy. That's what's up. Yeah, let's unbox it. Like that. Let's get it popping.
Right. Get it hopping.
Get it hopping. Oh, yep. So there's your
That's my NFT.
yeah, tangible NFTs. So this is that download code.
Give me that fungible.
That fungible. I like fungibles. I used to eat them for lunch.
Especially the cheesy ones.
Yeah. Yo, dude, this thing is nuts. Let's not make too much noise while doing this.
It's okay, I'll just mute it on edit.
Yo, and then you got that paper tag.
The scroll or something.
Scroll. Is this magnetic? Oh, it just hangs.
It looks like it hangs off of the
Isn't
side of his head. Like it's pinned to his head since he's a ghost? I don't know.
Yeah, well, I guess I'll have to figure out how to display it. It does look like it is kind of off the side of his head. But it's like a little notch there. It may just dangle. Oh, that might be what it is. It may just dangle from the inset on his hat. But once you have it in a case, it's probably nice and balanced. But yeah, that thing's fresh, man. The detail on it's slick. What is that, 6-inch figure?
Oop.
That's okay.
Yeah. I was looking to see if this rotates. I haven't taken it out of the box yet.
Yeah, man. It's nice and solid vinyl. Not too hefty. But the paint job on it's really well done.
Designed by John Cafaro. Yeah, I'm not familiar with any of the branding, but I remember Hopping Ghost. I remember seeing these at Decon those years.
Yeah, I'm familiar with like Osaka Popstar, but like that's pretty slick, man. Like
So, as we buy things, we'll show them off on here,
that's
and
slick, man.
when people send us stuff, we'll show them off on here.
Yeah.
At some point, some giveaways and stuff.
Yeah, totally down to do unboxings or like I just had this awesome package from Plastic Pizza, which was like amazing to open, so we could do unboxing videos, things like that. And then yeah, giveaways are our thing. So we always have the option to do a spinning wheel, and then maybe a new kind of art each time. Yeah, that thing's fresh, man. That's awesome.
So I guess it kind of falls under my ideas for segments of both Blast from the Past and an unboxing.
I just like the size, man. It's a nice hefty size for a case.
Yeah. Yeah, with other things in a case, it kind of fits with at least for the DTOFs.
Yeah, I mean it's with the hands up. It's cool because you can put like a 3-inch or 4-inch figure
Right underneath
right
it.
in front of it, at least if space is needed, and that's always important to either put that or up on a base.
This was me after this weekend.
Chasing coffee. Facts. Yeah, dude, that thing's sick. I like it. It's reminiscent of the Darkstalkers fighter, Sienko, the girl with the claws. She's dressed the same way, and she's a ghost. So
Right, that makes
that
sense.
would make more sense. Yeah.
Culturally reminiscent.
Yeah. And it's like looks like the zombie colorway because on the box it's a blue.
Yeah, they have a couple different colors.
That's sweet.
So, to wrap things up, might as well get into what we're doing this weekend.
Mm-hmm. So this weekend, every year we go to it's at Carol and John's comic shop. It's a local place that has been around in our neighborhood forever. So it's part of Free Comic Book Day. We'll actually be there. We'll have a big setup. What we just showed, the records and the canvases. There's a bunch. I think it's like 20 different artists that you can get drawings from. They'll be selling their stuff. Then you can also walk in, and part of the comic book day is all you have to do is wait in line. You get to pick 10 free comics. They have a special one they usually give out every time. So I think it's Secret Wars this time, or Secret Invasion. Who wanted the?
Oh, it's Secret Wars. I think
Secret Wars?
$199
Okay.
is the edition
So
or issue. I mean,
Secret Wars, and then somebody that worked on it is going to be in the shop. I think
Jim Shooter.
Yeah, so he's going to be in the shop, I believe, in their annex part signing. So that's at the one spot, and then down at the shop they usually do giveaways. Or, I mean, not giveaways. They do like percentages off, things like that, to help promote the shop itself.
Half off back issues, 25% off books.
Nice.
I only know because I had to type this out on Instagram.
Oh. That's always good. And then sometimes there's people doing outdoor painting. So sometimes as you're waiting in line, you still are engaged. They let you kind of have chalk for the kids and draw on the floor to keep them engaged. People will cosplay. It's always like a really nice family event. It's 10 to 6 this Saturday. And we enjoy it. We've been lucky to be part of their art shows that used to be on the Friday before, and then come back to Saturday, and then have the actual public event.
And then to compound on that, May 6th and 7th is the Mutantverse show.
Yeah, so there's the Dr. Sauce and the Mutantverse of Madness, which is thrown by Sauce Drop Toys. It's going to be at 2 different locations, so it's 2 days, so 2 chances to have your art displayed and or to be able to pick up one of the pieces.
In Sacramento.
Yeah, it's in Sacramento, so what it is it's either any kind of mutant or Doctor Strange-ish type feels because of the movie coming out. So they gave out a certain amount of the Mad Can mutant spray can figure, and then some people, if you wanted, you had the option of just doing your own figures. So there's a lot of X-Men. There's like
Ninja Turtles.
Yeah, Ninja Turtles, Xenomorph. There's a Toxic Avenger that I think Barely Available did. There is a Doctor Strange. I know that Sir One did. I did see that one. There's Daredevil, right? Playful Gorilla. So it's a lot of, if you're a comic fan or kind of that pop culture area where mutant is kind of part of it, that's the theme for that show. Then we have the Behind the Bootleg,
right,
which is the music icon show, and that's inspired by any kind of music and any kind of platform. So
right.
It's free flowing, whatever you want to do idea wise. As long as it was music inspired, you could do whatever.
And that is in Oklahoma, but at behindthebootleg.storeenvy.com, and that I think opens at 1 p.m. Oklahoma time.
Saturday?
Yeah. So for folks who see this or hear this after the fact, that stuff, some of that stuff will probably still be available whenever you hear this, or at least go check those stores out and support them.
Right. Yeah, they seem to be really awesome. Just really cool. Just leaving it open to the artist's interpretation is always cool. Artist forward on some of those shows usually gets the best turnout, showpiece wise. Start boxing people in with certain things. Some things start looking alike because you're getting boxed in. Where these seem to be all different ideas. So like
all over the place.
Yeah, you can gravitate towards something, or you have a lot of options to get something really fun. And then, we have tonight starts the miscast show for Booze and Buddies. So it's a 2-day event. Rick's actually on tonight. I'll be on tomorrow. So it just kind of supports resin artists and some pin makers. If you had pieces that weren't perfect and never got sold, it gives you the option to sell them because people collect these imperfect pieces. And then it also helps you recoup money for resin costs and such like that. So, yep.
Yeah, I think that catches everyone up to things right at this moment going on here in the first week of May of 2022. So with that, we're going to take off, and thanks for listening or watching, and follow me on Instagram at Rick Sans.
Then I'm Serg, but I go at official SergAndDestroy. It's all one giant word, but you'll see a picture of me with my tattoos as the image. If you can't, spell it correctly, it'll pop up eventually.
And we'll catch everyone the next time.
Yep.
So see you guys around.